Good evening. My name is Rodney Dysinger, and I'm here tonight to talk to you about stereotyping, a terrible human condition that we have that the dictionary says simply means an oversimplified conception. It's either applied to a group of people or to individuals of specific groups. My question, the first question tonight is, do you stereotype, and why? Have you ever been called a chauvinist or a bigot? Do you ever catch yourself using inclusive words or phrases like all women or all pagans? Have you ever caught yourself thinking or saying how things should be or how they ought to be? These are signs of using stereotypical language and thinking. Stereotyping comes from being either uninformed, misinformed, or intentionally misinformed, sometimes called brainwashing. But now we can brainwash ourselves. One of the biggest reasons for stereotyping is our own expectations. We begin to believe that certain things should happen in a certain way and certain people should behave in a certain way. Now, some of these expectations are imposed on us by society, by our families, by our friends. Some of these are learned by what we read, what we watch on television, what we read on the internet, or read in the paper. Some of these expectations are nothing more than wishes, what we hope for, what we want to happen, what we think should happen, what ought to happen. I'll give you an example. Have you ever driven down the highway and another driver does something totally stupid? How do you react? Well, most people give them the California salute, or cuss them out, or ask them where they got their driver's license, because we all know that people should know better. Well, they do, but mistakes happen. Sometimes we fall back on what we consider the law, which very few people actually know, but we swear we do. And then we fall into that category of things called our rights, which many people don't understand. We get into overactive imaginations. I used to ask my clients when they were getting heavily involved in relationships, how many people does it take to have a relationship? The answer is just one, and an overactive imagination. Sometimes they're called stalkers. We also fall into the trap of the perfect world syndrome. This is where all the shoulds, all the coulds, and all the oughts come into play. And of course, they're your list of rules. We also fall into the trap of the old first impressions. Statistically, first impressions are shown to be marginally accurate at best. We've all seen people that we wouldn't want to be anywhere near, and come to find out later he was one of the nicest people you ever met. The bum on the street could have been a doctor. You don't know. But we allow ourselves to run these things into our head, affect our behavior, affect our reactions. We fall into the trap of what we call E over I, emotions being ruling intellect. One of the questions that I would ask, especially people in the pagan community today, is, do you stereotype other people? You don't like it. My next question would be are you a stereotype. One of the biggest problems I see in our community today is that we allow other people to define us and then act exactly like they just said we were going to. So we prove them right. If you act like a maniac, don't be surprised to be described as a maniac. Some of the traps we fall into when we're on the other side of it is assuming. Now, we all know the joke about the word assume. Makes an ass out of you and me. And this is true. But it usually just makes an ass out of me. I get myself in trouble when I assume that the other party wants to know the truth. They really do. Doesn't everybody? They should. They ought to. Usually they don't care. They already have their opinion. Let them have it. Don't prove them right. Another trap I see people in our society doing, especially in the pagan society, is trying to describe themselves by what they're not, or what they don't believe in. Well, I could describe myself as I'm not 7 foot tall, I'm not 3'10", I'm not 700 pounds, I don't have brown eyes, and my hair is gray. That doesn't fit me at all. But if you listen to how you describe your beliefs, that is exactly the description you just gave somebody. You told them what you don't believe in. Tell them what you do